Excellent. This is Calcat, the Calcatster. Different place. Oh, different place. Yeah. Calcatster. Alright, so we're here at the different place. I'll just show it off later on. But this is a review of Mad Max Fury Road first. So let's do this. I like that the backdrop is weird. Yeah. It's cluttered looking. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, yeah, Fury Road. It's really warm. But yes, Furiosa, yeah. A little slower paced than the other ones. Of course, I already saw the Red Letter Media review, so one other person, but I didn't see Angry Joe's yet. So some of it was given away. Some of it's actually kind of given away in the trailer. The way they blocked everything. Yeah. The other reviews mentioned that actual adult Furiosa doesn't show up till after the first act, really, which is kind of interesting. George Miller's Mad Max saga, started. I won't go into all the Mad Max stories. I'm sure someone else already has. It's not necessary. This is trippy. Here we are, and yeah, so. Yeah, so. So, Mad Max, and yeah. Okay, so the story begins in that Greenland from Fury Road. The Greenland that was destroyed in Fury Road. They found it, decimated. And the sandstorms got it. But in this one it's before that. Furiosa and Valkyrie. There's a named Valkyrie. Some others are escaping. They're attacked by marauders, and they run out. And she runs out, and she's taken by the marauders, who then take her to. Then the biker people take her, and she ends up among Mr. Dementis, as they already jokingly call Dr. Demento. Dementis is just his name. Dementis takes her in as Little D. It's kind of funny. And it's immediately Chris Helmsworth chewing scenery. It's immediately sort of a goofy voice that he's doing. I like it. Fine. Yeah, you can tell it's him. He's like he's playing sort of. He's no longer Thor. He's playing Odin or older Thor. Or, no. He isn't really. Then vicariously they end up at the Citadel with Immortal Joe, which in the Red Letter Media version they kept calling Immortal Joe. I'm assuming they were making a joke. Immortal Joe is his name. They were being funny. And she gets there's like an old guy who's a sort of an Obi-Wan kind of character, and they encourage her to avoid the bad guys and become like important to them, like dress up like a boy and try to be and try to convince them that you're worthy as a mechanic or something, or a shooter and stuff, so they don't come after you. And then they do, and so and she eventually rises up in the ranks, and she's a co-pilot to this other guy who's similar to Mad Max, but I don't think it actually is supposed to be Mad Max. I think it's just some other guy, because it doesn't make sense that it would be him driving the car and then getting killed later. It doesn't really work. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be somebody else. If it is Mad Max, the continuity doesn't really work. But it's always been a multiverse with that series. I mean, Beyond Thunderdome really had nothing to do with Mad Max 2, and Mad Max 1 had nothing to do with an apocalypse. It was just a cop chase thing. So so it's evolved over the years into something else. They explained how Furiosa lost her arm. They explained how the Dementis is taking over Gastown and going back and forth. and he sees his Bullet Town to get to Gas Town, or he wants to get. He sets a trap in Bullet Town, so they go to Bullet Town and they get trapped in there and lose a version of the car, the the battle war vehicle, yeah, war rig, yeah, and war rig, and yeah, so yeah, it's mm, so yeah, war rig, and we have a big chase. We could get the car chase that's in there. For the last half an hour, and then the final showdown with Furiosa and the now old Dementis, and there are several different versions of how Dementis dies. Spoilers, but you kind of knew because in the apocrypha of Fury Road, he's already, yeah, they show it. So this is like a character who's going to be killed later. You already know that from the story. So, yeah. Yeah, in a nutshell, was it good? Was it interesting? You know, yeah, there were previews, there were Quiet Place prequel. There's a lot of prequels. Bad Boys Live or Die. Really, they should have called that Bad Boys Forever, because that would have made more sense. Or or For Life or something. Yes, For Life was part 3, which was weird. Should have been this one. This is 4. Some other previews. Yeah, but yeah, other ones are forgettable. You know. So anyway, back to this movie. You had an audience the day after Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend, and they were, and yeah, they were not really doing a whole lot. Yeah, so yeah, there weren't a lot of people in the theater, and there weren't a lot of people watching the movie either. There just weren't a lot of movie watchers. The parking lot was relatively about half full. The mall wasn't particularly crowded. It was the day after Memorial Day. It was 3, but still there should have been. Yeah, there were people shopping and stuff, but usually it looked like they had been there for like 2 hours and then decided to go hang out, you know, or something. So yeah, if you're up, really good. You know, it was good. It wasn't. Yeah, and then I yawned. Yeah. No, it was good. It was okay. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's certainly not the greatest Mad Max movie. Fury Road is still better. But as a prequel, that sort of fills in some gaps, and there's some oddities in that. How does how does her wig sprout up into a tree? How does that work? What's going on? Yeah, I wouldn't think that would, like, she would just bring life to them. That doesn't make sense. Or that you could plant a tree in a guy's crotch. Like, plant a tree in a guy's crotch and it would grow. It wouldn't do that. It would just rot. Ew. But yeah. So. Yeah. It was okay. It was fine. You know, Beyond Thunderdome was a little the silly one. That was the Grace Jones one. The silly. The first Mad Max movie is actually kind of dull in places because it doesn't really have a big chase thing. And then Mad Max 2 had more action and stuff. It was all action movie. Thunderdome was that weird one with the fighting challenges, and Mad Max going to the fighting challenge. Thunderdome. This one was kind of a mix of all of that. You get to see them build a war rig, but that war rig gets wrecked, so they must have rebuilt it, so they could go into the second one. You figure they knew how to rebuild it, so they just did. Yeah. Yeah, and the new lady playing Charlize Theron is all right. Yeah, it's fine. Not convincing as a martial artist in any way. She's not very big, but yeah, the stuff and the arm effects and all that are interesting. The person who played the character was Leah Brown. Might be a distant cousin. Kind of fun. Probably not, but yeah, on the Brown side. But yes, they CGI'd the other lady's face on her face, which is weird. They could have just found somebody to look more like her. That would have worked. They didn't do that. Oh well, there are also some CGI moments. Yes, it did look. Reviewers thought to look out for the part where Helmsworth looks like he's driving a car and it's over like a dangerous course and it looks fake. Yeah, it kind of did. There were some CG in here. It's weird because usually do that. I guess Miller had to, in some cases, had to do that. So yeah, there's my review. It was fine. It was, I don't know if it was 4 stars. It's good. It's really good. But 3.5. It's fine. Action movie. For the last part. They're action enough that you could say it's an action movie. Yeah, it's an action, sci-fi, action, dystopian sci-fi movie, basically. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the genre. Dystopian sci-fi with cars. It'd be kind of funny if they combined Furiosa, Fury Road, and all that with Fast and the Furious, and had them build cars and then chase them off cliffs and do crazy stunts. Well, this one's actually more grounded in reality than the Fast and the Furious franchise. Yeah, they don't literally have a Tarzan with a car. To do what they do, there's something similar with a motorcycle. And also they have a scene where, and that makes more sense because it's a motorcycle. There's a car. They also have some cool flying vehicles, parachute bike guy, and hang glider bike guy. Which, yeah, is kind of out of Fast and the Furious. Like, how would that even work? The bike would be so heavy, the glider would just land. Yeah. Which have rockets. Sure. And if Gastown is just a big moat around it, it's gasoline. What's to stop it from setting on fire? There's one. Huh. There was some weird narration in it where they had to narrate that war that was going to happen between them. That was a little odd. But yeah, others have mentioned that, so yeah, it was a little odd. It's like the movie was over and they wanted to just continue it. And, oh yeah, we forgot about the guy. We have to go defeat him now. Oh yeah, shoot. Let's go defeat the bad guy. Okay. That's the bad guy. She's going to go meet the surrogate father that took her to fight him. Yeah, it's just, yeah. It was fine. It was perfectly salvageable. I don't know why there aren't that many people watching it. Yeah. So, yeah.